I liked the work, but I did not love the work. And that was, I think, the gap.
What kind of things you feel that students are facing right now, that biggest problem in their lives, if you can sum it up all your GMCS sessions?
या उनको CA करना नहीं होता है, या उनको CA करके they don't want to do audit or tax. CAs can't advertise themselves, cannot indulge into marketing. What personal branding gets for a practicing CA is the credibility, the visibility, which they actually lack, and the trust. But what I've noticed is they just go there, they'll do the hi, hello and everything. They'll eat that good food and they'll be back. And they think that they network. But that's not really networking. So if you really want to succeed and have something fruitful in life, not just live life, please have some vision for yourself. Set some goal for yourself.
कौन जाएगा नेटवर्क करेंगे, हम लोग पास हो गए, बहुत हो गया. So I think that's what the goal is, and after that there is no goal in life remaining because you are so exhausted of just making or achieving that one goal in life. I'm sure that all those four things you have said must be lacking in most of the chartered accountants. But what are the key points that we don't think about it, or we don't try to develop in general, because we feel that we have got the best of the brains, so we don't want to develop other things? Probably that might be the attitude, I don't know. Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of the CA podcast, and today our guest is Parinita Adukia. Parinita is a personal branding coach. She works with CAs and financial professionals to help them get clients through ethical branding. Also, she mentors a lot of students. Now, what is ethical branding? What do you mean by personal branding coach? All of these things we will talk about in this episode. Hi, Parinita. How are you? It's a nice combination of your experiences, right? On one hand, you interact with students also, and on the other, you interact with professionals also. So that's why I think it's a perfect combination for the first episode of this podcast. So welcome, Parinita. And first of all, I would like to ask you, what was your journey like? Like, did you at the first place wanted to be a chartered accountant?
Interesting question. I think if you ask any CA, ये answer you will never get correctly. Because we are too young. When we start our CA journey, we are so young that we really are not very aware of what we really want to do with life, or what are the options. And especially if you talk about 15 years back, or actually more than that, when we started our CA journey, we really didn't have any options. So in short, commerce liya hai, so which means you have two options: either do a CA or become an MBA. So I very frankly wanted to do MBA. CA was never in my goal. But my dad really insisted, not that he forced, but he just told me that जब तक तुम्हारा graduation हो जाएगा, these were his lines. जब तक तुम्हारा graduation होगा, तुम CA बन जाओगी, and then you can do your MBA. And me being me, I was very young and very this thinking, okay, fine, whatever. And I was a very studious person. I loved studying. So it never, I was never scared कि अरे CA करना है, and I took up CA and I very well cleared the levels, especially the first and second level was very, very easy for me. And then in the midst of chartered accountancy is the articleship. Is when I understood कि CA होता क्या. I think that was my eye-opener.
So how was your experience of articleship like? Like, did you like it at that time?
I won't say I didn't like it, I was never bad at my work, but then slowly it just felt that it started getting monotonous or something which I'm not adding real value or something that does not excite me.
Yeah.
So I liked the work, but I did not love the work. And that was, I think, the gap.
Okay, okay. I think that's the story of many people I know, including myself. So, yeah, I can relate to that. So now let's come to the main elephant in the room, which is this personal branding service. And you have founded Portraiture as a platform or as a company. So, what exactly means personal branding, personal or image consulting, or all those? It sounds really fancy, and it feels like, okay, I should, just enroll it for this such kind of things. So what exactly is the role, and what exactly do you mean by personal branding?
Okay. So, to start with, a lot of people think personal branding is just like personality development, जो हम पता है बचपन में सुनते थे. Personality development course करना है 10th 12th के बाद parents बोलते कर लो. So I'll just say it is a professional version of personality development.
Okay.
So when I say personal branding, just think that people look at you and people remember you in a certain way. Okay. So when you ask, say, a set of your friends or set of your colleagues or set of your people around you, be it neighbors or relatives, each one of them will have a trait associated with you. Some will say that Swapnil is this for us. Or some will say Swapnil is this for us. Each one will have a different trait. Branding is, just say we talk about product branding, right? If we say about iPhone,
right,
as soon as you say iPhone, we're talking about something sophisticated, something creative, because that really changed, Apple changed the market.
Right.
In the same way, a person also has a branding. Whether you like it or whether you know it or you don't, that's separate. But each one of us has a branding. When we work towards a personal branding, which means thinking about our goals, we want people to remember us in a certain way. So all our actions, our behavior, our words, our dressing, everything will then portray that branding. I'll give you a simple example.
Yeah.
Now, if we talk about, because we talked about Apple, Steve Jobs. What was Steve Jobs' personal branding? That he's a very simple person, but with a creative mind.
Yeah.
How did he display that? With his simple outfit. He always wore, black t-shirt, that polo neck and jeans, blue jeans. But his words were so creative. His thought process was creative. And that's the branding he built for himself. That's personal branding. When you work towards a goal with a certain mindset and everything around you tells about that.
So for example, let's assume that I come to you to, build my image, build my brand. So what exactly are the processes that you follow, or what will be your day like? Like, what will you do to different personalities? Because if there are 10 different clients, I assume that there are different needs and requirements of all those people. So how do you manage these things, and what do you do to them?
Okay. If I talk about how do I manage so many different personalities, see, so personal branding is very personal. The word personal itself says that it's very customized and it's very personal. Okay. So I know that even if I have 10 clients, each one has a unique quality or something that sets that person apart. And all my strategies will be around that. So even if the process remains the same, the output, the requirements, and the objective is always different for different people. And that's how it helps me set people or the brands apart. Okay. And when we talk about how do we exactly, what is the process of building this personal brand? The first and the main aspect is to understand the goal. Because a personal brand cannot be developed without understanding why does the person want that branding and what does he want to achieve out of it. So there are four major aspects that we work on when we talk about personal branding. The first is self-analysis, where you analyze the person in detail, his psychological, his physical, his personality traits, his goals, vision in life. All these things are analyzed to understand what exactly the person wants to say and who he is authentically. Okay. Because personal branding is not something that we create a fake image. It is your authentic self that you want to bring out. Okay. The second is communication aspects, considering both business communication and personal communication. Third is your digital presence, where we work on your digital, because offline and online today, your images collide. It's not, it cannot be separated, right? So we work on the digital presence. And fourth is your grooming. So when we are working on all these aspects for one person, we have to understand that all these aspects should work towards a goal that the person wants to achieve. Only then that whole process falls into place and we get the required outcome. Okay. So this is the process that we follow with any person who's looking for personal branding.
Okay. So it means, so does it mean that if you know someone is lacking communication skills, so you will train that person?
Yes.
Okay. And say for like similar thing for grooming and all. So you will be actually styling a person, right? So like a person should wear such kind of clothes, something like that.
Yes, right. Okay. So for example, say you are at a manager level right now. Okay. And you have in your pipeline that within a year or so, you might get promoted. Okay. Or you want that promotion. So what our goal is, you start communicating and you start representing yourself, be it through your words or your actions or your clothing, that you have already achieved that position. Okay. Now, when you're in that position, how will you dress? How will you communicate? What is the image that you are presenting? So we work towards that goal.
Do you consult the practicing chartered accountants as well in this?
Yes, we do consult practicing chartered accountants, and the major reason for this is the code of ethics that we have.
Yeah.
Right? CAs can't advertise themselves, cannot indulge into marketing. Traditional way that a CA gets the clients are, which has been there since ages, that's references and, other CAs giving those contacts. But that will help you survive, but not grow. If you really want to grow, you have to now start working on different areas. And personal branding, what personal branding gets for a practicing CA is the credibility, the visibility, which they actually lack, and the trust. Okay. You actually build a good name for yourself in the CA community and also in your clients and your peers. It really helps you that way.
So you told the four things that you build or develop. So in case of a practicing chartered accountant, what will be those points and how that will be, addressed?
Okay. So when we talk about practicing CAs in particular, in aspects of the personal branding, there are few things that we add which are very, very crucial for them. One is the networking skills. Now, what happens is a lot of CAs attend networking events in different, say your study circle or your webinars, the seminars, the events that ICA organizes. But what I've noticed is they just go there, they'll do the hi, hello and everything. They'll eat that good food and they'll be back. And they think that they've networked. But that's not really networking. That's just the start of the networking. How do you actually network to get either collaborations or clients out of that is something that we teach. In the same way, networking through digital platforms. How do you actually use digital platforms to network with people and to get those clients or collaborations is we work on. Second thing that they really lack is the marketing skills. They are not aware of what do you mean by sales? How do you get those leads? How do you convert those leads? These concepts are really alien for them.
Right.
So what we do is we set a process for them where how do they market, where from all the sources that they can get the leads to how do they convert them. This is also included for practicing CS, these two major aspects, other than, of course, the communication, the digital presence, all of that. So this is how we help practicing CS.
There is a lot of gap between the CAs who are supposed to be or are assumed to be technically sound and their domain knowledge is like top class and all those things. But there is some other aspects like the soft skills or the personality aspect, which is basically are not so good or something like that, because the role is such or the training is such, because it is a distance education plus the articleship job and all those things are so different, and they don't kind of cater to these kinds of skills, which on the other hand MBAs do undergo this kind of process. So I think that is the gap, and this is a long lasting debate, CAs versus MBAs and what are things lagging and plus and minuses and all those things. So without getting into that, maybe we can get if we get time, but without getting into that right now. So there is this gap that you have addressed, and so what do you think are the main pain points for chartered accountants, especially in the entire process? Because I'm sure that all those four things you have said must be lacking in most of the chartered accountants. But what are the key points that we don't think about it, or we don't try to develop in general, because we feel that, okay, no, we have got the best of the brains, so we don't want to develop other things. Probably that might be the attitude. I don't know. But what are those things? What do you think about that?
Interesting. Okay. So, there is a reason why I started personal branding as my profession, and I started training specifically CA students. So I am a regular faculty with ICAI, and I started that because of a major reason.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is when I was meeting my future to-be husband, that typical arranged marriage setting and all. At start, he had refused to meet me on the fact that I'm a CA and he's a MBA. So he had this, whole perception that CA hai, arey, bahut hi boring hogi. I don't want to meet this girl. She'll not know how to talk. She'll not know how to dress up and all. So I don't want to meet her. But luckily, unluckily, whatever. But we met and things happened. And he told me about this, that, I initially didn't want to meet you because you're a CA and I thought you might not know how to communicate or talk to me, or, you might not dress well or not. And that really, really pricked me. That this is, and when I think about it, and I sat down and I thought about it, and actually, even in my GMCS batch, if I go back, hardly anybody could really come out and give those presentations. Mm-hmm. Even today, out of a batch of 50, I'll say only 10 students, that is also an upper limit, are that confident that they can come and stand there and speak. So it is a gap, a known gap, not denying it. I don't want to compare the abilities and everything of MBA or CA. But yes, the problem is that if you know about this gap, if you know about this thing, address it and work on it. You just cannot live with the fact कि अरे मैं तो CA हूँ तो ठीक है ना, मुझे बात करना नहीं आता. पहले चल जाता था.
Right.
Today, you cannot survive like that. Even if you do survive, you'll only survive. You won't grow. If you
Correct.
want to survive, okay. If you really want to grow, take this opportunity as a student. See, when you're a student, you have that zest to learn more and you have that energy.
Yeah.
आगे जाके वो energy नहीं रहती है. So now you have the energy to put in those extra efforts in learning communication, in improving your language. If you're not comfortable with English, which I've seen a lot of students are not comfortable with English, it's okay. Work on it. Don't take this as an excuse that I'm a CA, that I don't want to communicate.
Right.
The second thing, very major thing, which I have noticed, because my husband is also a CA and my sister's also done an international MBA.
Okay.
Sorry, my husband is an MBA. What one particular thing that I think that they lack between CA and MBAs are the social interactions. When you're meeting people, what kind of conversations are you having is very, very important. And I see CAs lack in there. They'll be comfortable with thoda sa technical baat kar liya, that's fine. But social interactions are not there. And that's a very, very, and what happens is when you have that social interactions, you build a network for yourself. And CAs are very bad at that.
True. You have also said that you are a part of GMCAs also. So for CA students and for CAs, like professional CAs also. So what exactly do you plan to do, or do you actually do to, build those skills around all those people?
Okay. So technically, yes, of course, I address all these points that I've spoken about. But what I feel, couple of things that I specifically do or I start with is the first thing is awareness. People are not aware that they require these skills, or where are they lacking. So if you don't know if the point A and point B, how will you fill those gaps? Your point A is where are you right now? What kind of skills do you have right now? And point B is your destination. And so where do you want to reach? So, things like SWOT analysis, things like vision board creation, these really help them be more aware of who they are as a professional and as a person. And that really brings them that awareness. Oh, okay, so I am this and I wish to become this. So, which is why I have to take these steps which are being talked about. So that self-awareness is very important as when we talk about, building skills, and especially when you're talking about soft skills. Okay. This is something there. And second is, I definitely tell them that build good network, both offline and digitally. You have to build good network. Only then will you be able to grow. These are two major aspects that I talk about.
And you have recently also launched some LinkedIn course for chartered accountants, right? Can you just give more details about that?
Sure. So yes, I have launched a LinkedIn course specifically for chartered accountants. Whether you are a professional CA or a practicing CA, it applies for both. Now, what happens is people think LinkedIn is just, you make a profile, you sometimes post some post and you are done. And that's being active on LinkedIn. But that's not the thing. You will not get those desired results or what you target if you're just doing this. There are a lot of other things that you need to take care of, even while building your profile, the kind of content that you create, everything. So what we do in this course is we create your LinkedIn profile, everything in your LinkedIn profile. We understand who your target audience is, what is your goal out of LinkedIn. We understand the kind of content that through your goal. Okay, what is your goal? Accordingly, what kind of content can you share? We help you systemize the content creation, because of course, when you talk about content creation, people get scared. Oh my God, I have to spend so much time. But it really is not that much time consuming if you have a system in place. So take that system for you, and we help you understand what engagement means when you're there on LinkedIn and how can you get clients through LinkedIn. So this is what all is covered, and it's a 1 month course, but there are 2 Zoom sessions. And through that 1 month, there are regular follow-ups and regular activities which are given to you that you have to complete in those 1 month through a WhatsApp group. So we create a WhatsApp group separately, and all the communication happens there. And we, for that 1 month, we overlook all your activities on LinkedIn.
So the CA, he has or she has to post these things from, as in she has to create it, or you give them, some kind of service for creating those posts?
No, the CA themselves create, because
Okay.
at the end, going for further, they have to do themselves. But what we provide them with are the right tools, the method, and how can they actually create content. Those are not random contents, but will be according to their goals.
Got it. Got it. So now coming back to now students, okay, that you must have met a lot of people, a lot of students who are into confusion and a lot of things, right? So one is like exam pass nahi ho raha hai. Second is I don't want to do CA or something like that. Third could be I want to do X particular thing in life, but I am stuck at Y particular thing. So all those things. So what kind of things you feel that students are facing right now, that biggest problem in their lives? If you can sum it up all your GMCS sessions into next 1 minute, so what would be that?
If I will say they have 2 major issues. या उनको CA करना नहीं होता है, या उनको CA करके they don't want to do audit or tax. They really want to do something that they are passionate about.
Okay.
And the problem is they don't know what their passion is. Because time ही नहीं मिला ना कभी explore करने के लिए. Right. So this is, I think, a major, and when they hear that I'm not doing anything related to CA and I'm doing something very different, they are like, how did you find that? So, that is, I think, the major issue. And what I tell them very frankly is follow your passion only if you have money in your pocket. Because not everybody has different situations, life situations.
Right.
If you are that blessed that it's okay to take two years, it takes 2 years to break even, even if you're following your passion. 1 से 2 साल किसी को भी लगता है. Right. So if you think that for 1 to 2 years, it's okay if you're not earning, it's okay if you don't have any responsibilities, go ahead, take that risk, find your passion. Okay. But if you have responsibilities, be very careful. Just for the sake of finding that passion, don't give up your responsibilities. We can find some other way where you're doing something part-time or something if you have the energy, but don't give up on your main source of income. This is something that I tell them frankly. So this is very important in life. And as far as passion goes, passion kya hota hai? Simple mein, you like doing something over and over and over and over again. Right. Right. When you wake up, you even at 5 in the morning, you wake up with that energy that yes, I have to do this. So that's passion. And sometimes to find the passion, you just have to try different things, and you will find ki, okay, I am passionate about this thing. But to survive, you need money. Please take a smart call, not a call from your heart. Right. And the thing that you told about that people are tired or they don't want to do audit and tax, but they want to do something fancy, something
sexy, like management consultancy karni hai, investment banking mein jana hai, and all those things. And this is from my personal experience too, that I was also, I was after a point bored of the same audit and tax. I wanted to, break those shackles and, just go into something different. But the problem was that whenever I used to apply, I got the response that, you don't have adequate skills. So it was always something in my mind that, how can a person have a experience in management consultancy or those investment banks or anything if that person has done an articleship in a mid-sized firm and small size firm or even large firms. 90% of the or the majority of the articleship work is in tax and audit only, because that is the requirement of the profession, and that is okay, not a problem, because that's the main purpose of being a chartered accountant. But if someone wants to go into or explore something different, the doors sometimes I feel are closed, because the employers don't want to hire a fresher CA who don't have any experience in apart from an tax and audit. So you are here, you want to go here, and somewhere your skills are somewhere in the middle, and you cannot bridge that gap. And that's my like half of my personal rant also. And so what to do? That's the question. Like how to bridge that gap? Should someone, just take a pay cut and join as an as an intern somewhere in those in that particular area? But again, there is a issue, like after being a CA, you want to be, want to earn six digit salary or something like that. But again, पे कट लेना है, मतलब आर्टिकलशिप में ऑलरेडी पैसा तो नहीं मिलता है किसी को ज्यादा, उससे भी बाद में पे कट ही लेना है. तो there is a this kind of confusion I personally felt, and I feel all the students might be feeling the same. So how to tackle these things and how to bridge those skills plus balance out all the other aspirations that we have, that because someone we have seen who is in our peer group, going to some abroad doing or being into management consultancy, something like that. Or then you have to take the traditional path that, okay, after CA, MBA karo, and फिर तुम्हारा रास्ता सब जगह पे open है, you can do anything.
Okay. Yes, a major problem. See, there are things that I can suggest or something that I've seen people doing. If this is the path that you want to choose, first is be clear from the start if you want to. So, for example, if you even in the first year or second year of articleship, that you want to go into consulting. This is not something you want to do. Start working in that way from that moment itself. Don't wait कि मैं CA बन जाऊंगा, then I'll see what I need to do. And what I mean by this is the kind of, so even at the audit assignment, expand your learnings. Don't only look at the audit report. Okay?
Right.
Go into the audit report in depth. Touch the topics that CA doesn't. So consulting part mein hai, understand the industry more and understand the business more, understand the structure of the business more, the operations more. That will start giving you an insights on what exactly business consulting is.
Right.
So start going in depth. See, we CAs now, the problem is we think we are only doing audit and tax, but it's a part of a business, which means we understand business. It's just we've never thought it that way. The second is get mentorship. Connect to people who are consultants. Be outright, be shameful and telling them that I am looking for mentorship. Will you mentor me? Okay,
right.
Groom me and or on how to prepare, what kind of requirements are there, how do I fulfill that? Get mentorships. People are ready to give you mentorships. I'm not even talking about paid, the unpaid ones. Lot of people open to share their experiences. Third, know the specific technical skills that business consultants want. So,
Right.
as per what I've seen, because I know few people who are, applying for business consulting and they want to work as a business consultant. A lot of analytical tools, technical tools that are required, like Power BI,
Right.
AI-based softwares, analytical tools, Excel, a depth in Excel, not Excel upar se that CAs do, but
Yeah.
a lot of Excel, knowledge. So financial modeling, all these things are really, really very important when you talk about business consulting. So get yourself equipped with all these extra tools. So what happens is, and also when you're designing your resume, if possible, take a professional's help. Person will highlight your consulting skills. Okay.
Right. Right.
So I really feel CAs can be really good consultants. It's just we are not very used to thinking that way, and we're not branding ourselves that. That's it, nothing else. And slowly the industry will change.
Yeah, hopefully it should change. Now, a couple of questions. Tell me three things that CA degree has given you, in terms of not just that, okay, I can earn more because of being a CA, but something like that that has helped you in your life, in your hobbies, and anywhere. Like
The first, it's not a skill, but it's given me my husband. Whatever. Okay, I won't count that. But the first is, of course, the credibility that comes along with the prefix. Today, I'm not practicing as a CA, but anytime I visit any client, be it a corporate client or any college, I'm visiting that person for services, for soft skill training services. There is a lot of credibility or respect that we receive as a CA. The second, I will say, CA has really given me a different thought process and a different way of looking at the world. And when I say this is because the kind of conversations I have with people. So I think if I was not a CA and a regular, commerce graduate or anything like that, my quality of my conversations would not have been
right.
so good. So it really gives me an in-depth understanding of, US में क्या हो रहा है जब आप 2008 crisis की बात कर रहे हो, or you're talking about
Right.
demonetization. I know my stuff. So it really gives me that hands-on on the conversations, and it really gives me that confidence ki whatever I'm saying, and confidence to the opposite person also ki bhai CA hai to she might be talking sense. So it really has enhanced my outlook towards the world. And the third is, of course, it is related to my work, but when I approach CA as my clients for LinkedIn, what I get to hear is, so we have spoken to digital branding consultants before, also digital marketing. So, people who write content or, market on digital. But the reason we are choosing you is because you understand the pain points of CA. You understand the ethics, the importance of ethics. You understand the jargons. You understand what we want to tell our target audience. You understand the technicalities. I think that has really helped me in cracking those clients. So CA has given undoubtedly a lot to me, a lot.
Nice, nice. And what are the three things that you feel that, while doing CA, I should have known these three things, because that would have changed your life completely?
One is exploring more. We always had this thought process ki CA mein sirf audit tax hota hai, but later is that I realized, no, there are so many things in CA that I can explore that I could have gone into, say, valuations. I did my valuations for a couple of years, but again, not that seriously. I could have taken that up. So there are a lot of, subparts in CA, specializations in CA that you can really explore and earn, like, tremendously. Second is the power of networking. I'll say this again and again, but we never took networking that seriously. Third, if I knew something is okay, this I have known for a lot of CAs, economics. I think what happens is economics is a very important subject, not covered in CA that much, only in CPT, I think. I don't know the current syllabus for IPCs, your PCC, IPCC, whatever you call, and the finals. Not sure if economics is covered, but economics, I think, if I really wish, because again, economics is the base of everything. I wish economics, I would have taken it seriously, and I would have learned more about it. Would have really helped me now in my work also.
The economics part, at least I sort of got it at the right time, because I was of the opinion that economics was acha and I should be doing it. So that is one thing, tick mark. But rest other things, as you said, no networking, no exploring any other things. So I think that these things are right in your observation. So last couple of questions, but before that, I will give you 2 minutes to speak anything. Just be open to different aspects of CAs, students or professionals, or brand building, studies, articleship, anything. I'll give you 2 minutes to, just rant about anything.
Okay. I would say it's a ranting, but yes, my observation, my strong observation, people in general, whether it's a student or a professional or a practicing CA, people are really not setting goals for themselves. And it really hurts me bad, because people are just living their life. And when I ask a CA student, what's your goal? I want to clear CA. That cannot be your goal. That's an education qualification that you're gaining. That's not your goal. And when I talk to practicing CAs, if I ask them, what is your goal in life? As in, why do you want to do LinkedIn management? Or what is your goal in your life? What kind of career do you want? Kuch nahi, zyada clients chahiye. Again, not a goal. So it really, it hurts me to see that people have lost the essence of working towards a vision or working towards a goal in their life. Because what happens is, when you have a clear goal and vision, whatever you are doing really represents that. And your action, the intensity of your action, the emotions that you carry really is multifold when you are working towards something. So if you really want to succeed and have something fruitful in life, not just live life, please have some vision for yourself. Set some goal for yourself. It really will change the way you look at things, the way you approach to people, the way you talk to people. So this is really something, I think goal setting should be there in the curriculum, be it school, college, CA, curriculum banao yaar, goal setting leke aao.
Okay. So I think I've read like half, not completely, but the Atomic Habits book. I think that kind of it actually gives you proper examples of like how to set some goals. Like if you want to be good at, or you want to be fit or something like that, then don't just make goal like, okay, I will go to gym from tomorrow or something like that. Just make it like very break it down, like I want to go to gym tomorrow at 7 o'clock, by say catching this train or catching this particular bus or a vehicle, any something like that, and like be very specific to that particular goal. So that is something which I have read, and I think it is good, but I don't know if I think CA is sometimes, at least I can say for myself, that I'm lazy. And there is a chance that people also might get lazy, because after just passing it out, I feel people lose all the energy and zeal and enthusiasm for doing networking, for कौन जाएगा network करेंगे, हम लोग पास हो गए, बहुत हो गया. So I think that's what the goal is, and after that there is no goal in life remaining because you are so exhausted of just making or achieving that one goal in life. I don't know, but yeah, there is merit in setting goals, as you said. But yeah, hopefully people
And we
will
all
follow
are
that.
lazy. The thing, it's just the intensity of laziness and the number of hours of laziness that we can have.
Yeah, so last couple of questions, as I've said. So first question is, what are you currently obsessed with or passionate about?
My daughter,
Oh,
I
oh.
am obsessed with her. She's just 3 years old. The changes, the little changes that I observe every day, the conversations that I have with her, the kind of things that I want to teach her. It's really, it's addictive. So I'm obsessed with her currently.
Nice, so sweet. And the last question is, what do you have anything for recommendations, like books, music, movies, web series, documentaries, courses, anything? I think the top of the recommendation list will be your LinkedIn course for sure.
Thank
But apart from that, what are the recommendations?
Okay, so currently not currently, very recently I read a book, Deep Work, an amazing book which will really change the way you work. In simple language, you don't need to work for 6 hours. If you really concentrate and work only for 3 hours, your work can be done. And that's called deep work, where you put
Okay.
everything aside and you have a focus towards your work for those 3 hours. So it's amazing book. If you are that person who, who does not find time or, are very lose focus quite often, Deep Work is for you. So do read Deep Work. Atomic Habits, of course, James Clear, that you've already spoken about. Again, a very, very good book. But sometimes it's a very lengthy book. So sometimes people, lose that interest midway. Recently, I watched a web series called The Minimalist. And
I've heard about it.
It again changed the way I've started living. I love stationaries. I love bags. I love shoes. So unlimited amount of these things at my house. And what happens is I live in a joint family. So I just have one room. In that one room, I have everything, stuffed. Every 15 days, there comes a time that I get so irritated with all the things around me that I really wish to just throw things out of my window. So when I saw that series, I was always into minimal, I'm not a minimalist, but I always thought, I should reduce my spending. I should reduce the things around me. But I think that just series was a push for me. And I actually, the next very day, I removed so many clothes. I removed so many things around from me, and it really helped me de-stress. I know I have less things to take care of. I know I can survive in few things. I know I am happy from inside now and even from outside. So it really, really helped me. And minimalism is something that each one of us, especially for the survival of our earth, we should work with.
Yeah.
One podcast which I stopped listening right now, but I used to listen when I was pregnant, and that's the Gita for daily living. It's a podcast and it talks about all the verses in Gita, and an amazing podcast. You should listen to it. And I think all, everybody should, whatever religious book you want to follow. I've recently become I was always religious, but spiritual. I'll talk about that. Spiritual. I've become spiritual. So listen to one mantra every day, whatever. It can be Gayatri mantra, or it can be Hanuman Chalisa. It can anything that you are comfortable with, or any religion. So I'm a Hindu, which is why I talked about this. Any religion, that's fine. But just meditate for 5 minutes at least every day. It is the best thing because you are doing nothing and achieving everything.
Right.
So it is so beautiful, those 5-10 minutes that you meditate or just listen to that music or to the mantra. It's really, really calming, and it gives you that energy that you're looking for to work. So this is something that I can recommend.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you once again for coming to this podcast and giving us so much time of yours. So I'm really, really happy the way the podcast has turned out. And
I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.
This is actually required. Trust me.
Thanks a lot.